Good morning, Hustle Nation. Today we're talking about the principle and power of vision by Dr. Myles Munroe. This is the beginning of what looks like is going to be a 12-part series on vision, right? Our people perish for the lack of two things. One is the lack of knowledge. The other is the lack of vision. So we're going to go through chapter 1 of this book and help you understand the power of clarifying your vision. So I'm super excited, guys. Go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand and be prepared to answer the question of the day and get rolling with the quote of the day. And we're going to make this a great day, which is going to kick off a great week. And I'm glad that you guys are allowing me to kick it off with you. So let's go ahead and get this party started.
Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks.
Welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, all you ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders out there. My name is Cortez Hustle, your host for the day, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from digitalempiresystem.com. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't figured out that online is where it's at, and you haven't brought your product, your service, your gift, your talent, your special ability, your business online in a meaningful way, chances are it's because you think it's difficult. And when you have to use a bunch of different platforms to make this a reality, then it can be difficult. But the Digital Empire System is a all-in-one digital marketing platform that provides your ability to build your websites, your sales funnels, your lead capture pages, your autoresponders, your script generator. Everything you need to build your business online is included in this one platform called Builderall. And all you have to do is go to digitalempiresystem.com and you can try the whole system out for $1. And if you get it through my affiliate link, then you know that I'm going to train you on how to best leverage it and take it to the next level. I even got some cool funnels that I can transfer right into your system to help you jumpstart your business and or your brand. digitalempiresystem.com. Question of the day, ladies and gentlemen. What one area are you looking to grow personally? Right, you guys know I'm big on personal growth and self-development, and it happens through plan, right? It doesn't happen osmotically. You have to plan it, right? So what one area are you looking to grow personally? And if you answer the question of the day, you get entered into a drawing to win a free vacation. And we do our drawings every Wednesday, but you got to put QOTD and then leave your answer so that we can get you into that drawing. A couple quick announcements for you guys before we get the show started, where we're talking The Principles and Power of Vision by the late, great Dr. Myles Munroe. And this is going to be a multi-part series, guys. Chances are there are 12 principles, so this might end up being a 12-part series. We'll see how it goes. But if you guys don't know, the Cortez Hustle Show blog is up and running, and that's where you can go and catch the replays of the show. My team and I are actually going back and uploading all of the shows for the entire year, because I think the Cortez Hustle Show is almost a year old, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to be super cool as we fill those. And guess what? If you go over to thecortezhustleshow.com, I've got a free gift I want to give you just for going to check out the blog. So make sure you guys go check that out. Also, if you know people that would be a great fit for being on the show, make sure you tag them. And I would love to get to know a little bit about them to see if they're a good fit for the show. I'm also looking for sponsors of the Cortez Hustle Show. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we're pretty good at getting your message out there. So we will put our full force of our marketing efforts behind your business and or your brand if you chose to sponsor the Cortez Hustle Show. So get in touch or comment sponsorship in the comments, and we'll get in touch with you. So before we get into the principles and power of vision, guys, the Bible talks about us perishing for two main reasons. We perish for lack of knowledge, and we perish for lack of vision. And some of us don't even know that we need a vision. So we are doubly screwed. But we're going to talk about vision a lot in these next few episodes and help you guys clarify and define and really lean into your vision. But you guys know I love to start the show off with the quote of the day. And today's quote is from Joel Osteen. So right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, the quote of the day is this: your tongue is the rudder for your life. That's Pastor Joel Osteen. Your tongue is the rudder for your life. For those of you who don't know anything about ships and boats and things of that nature, that little flap or piece of metal is what guides the ship. So when you see, like I used to watch The Love Boat as a kid, right? And you would see the captain, and they're wheeling this big old ship, and this big old steering wheel, right? Well, that big old steering wheel is actually moving a little flap or a rudder, and that rudder determines or dictates the direction of the ship. That rudder for you guys is your tongue. Right now, I know it starts with your beliefs, and it starts with your thoughts, things that you think on the most, or the things that ultimately come out of your mouth. But the more you speak on something, the more it guides your actions. And those actions will lead to your habits, and those habits is what determines your character, and your character dictates your destiny, ladies and gentlemen. So my question to you is, what are you saying about yourself? What are you saying about yourself? Because we get so caught up in what other people are saying about us. We get so caught up in what we think other people are thinking about us that we miss the mark, and we never consider what we are saying about ourselves. We never consider what we are thinking about ourselves. And it is those things that are holding us back more than anything that anybody else could ever say about us or think about us. It's what you're saying about yourself, what you're thinking about yourself, what you're believing about yourself is creating the outcome that you see that is called your life, my friend. So Pastor Joel Osteen says your tongue is the rudder of your life. Change the things that you say about yourself. And when I think about my girl, India Ari, and one of her songs, she said, the words that come out of your mouth, you're the first to hear. So even when you're talking about somebody else, you're also talking about yourself. Even when you're talking to someone else, because those words you hear first, you're also talking to yourself. So speak easy, speak life, and not death. So that is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. It is the premier digital marketing academy for people who want to build their businesses online. You want to learn how to leverage the internet. You want to learn how to leverage technology, social media to build a bigger, bolder, more robust brand. Then go to MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. So today, about 4 years ago now, maybe 5, my mom gave me this book from, it's called The Principles and Power of Vision by Dr. Myles Munroe, Keys to Achieving Personal and Corporate Destiny. And when she gave me this book, I've always known that those scriptures in the Bible that says we perish for lack of vision and we perish for lack of knowledge. And I really am focused now on creating a bigger and bolder vision for myself. DJ Ed Fire, I think, is EDE. I'm butchering your name, brother. I see you answered the question the other day, looking for sponsorship as well. That's awesome. So we're going to go over these 12 principles. And the first chapter in this book is on be directed by a clear vision, right? When you know and understand what you were born to accomplish, that is purpose. When you can see it in your mind by faith and begin to imagine it, that is vision, right? So he talks about the power of being led by a clear vision, and he gives what's called 12 chapter principles. Principle number 1 is obvious. You must have a clear guiding purpose for your life. It's sometimes one of the most difficult things to come to the realization of, to unlock, to uncover, to discover, and that is the purpose for your life, right? Very difficult sometimes, but I believe that we all have passions and we're passionate about certain things. And if you continue to move throughout your life and follow those passions, I think it's those passions, the job of your passions is to lead you to your purpose. And where you find your purpose, you'll also find your provision. There's a lot of people who are struggling in so many areas of their life. They're not happy. They're not making the income that they want. They're stressed out. And a lot of that comes back to not doing things that they were built to do, that they were purposed to do, that brings them joy and fulfillment. And I believe it's because we walk away from our passion to make $1 to feed our family. And who could blame you for that, right? But when you understand, right? When you understand that your purpose, your provision is in your purpose, then you'll kind of know that your joy and your peace will soon follow, right? Because you start doing the things that you love. And when you're doing the things that you love, as they say, you will never work again, my friend. Star says, why do you have headphones? Just curious. I actually have another monitor that I play some of my ads and my sponsor spots. And when I have guests, that feeds back through my microphone when I don't have my headphone on. So that's why I have headphones. She said, why do you have headphones? Just curious. Yeah, it cuts back on the feedback from some of the other things that I'm going to play. Like when I do my 1-minute motivation, that plays back out loud. And I have to make sure that it doesn't feed back through the microphone and cause us problems here. So number 1, you must have a clear guiding purpose for your life. And the way you discover that is you got to spend some time alone with you and your creator. I'm I'm blessed that as a young man, I mean, even a boy, even, I learned how to be in my own head, right? And I know for some people that is scary as heck, right? You ever notice that some people that if you go to their house, there's always a TV or radio playing. You get in their car, the radio is always blaring. People can't always be by themselves. They've got to always have people around them. I want you to make sure that you check in on those people, because those are people who usually can't deal with their own thoughts. So they constantly have to have distractions going on, right? As a young man, I used to be the first kid dropped off at daycare, and I used to be the last kid picked up from daycare, meaning I spent a lot of time alone before other kids showed up. And then after other kids got picked up, I spent a lot of time alone. And I learned how to be in my own head. And that's how you really discover your gifts, your talents. This is how you really unlock your passions. And if you follow those passions, this is how your purpose is ultimately discovered or revealed to you. But you got to understand how to get alone with yourself and listen to that little voice on the inside, right? Number one was you must have a clear guiding purpose. Number two, the key to life is not only knowing what you are, but also why you are. You got to understand why you are. And one of my biggest fears in life, after finally discovering my purpose, why I'm here, to empower people to unlock and uncover their own passions, right? That's why I'm here. My biggest fear in life is that the people that I love the most will never discover their purpose. Because I can't explain to you the amount of joy I feel and the amount of fulfillment that I get from doing this. What I'm doing right now is part of that purpose. And I know some people will never experience it. It's my biggest fear for the people that I love the most, is that, man, you can go through this whole life, 70, 80, 90 years, and never come to the realization of why you were put on this planet in the first place. And not to say that you can't have a good life, not to say that you can't accomplish some things that you want to accomplish, but man, there's nothing like the sense of fulfillment when you start walking in your purpose. So number two, the key to life is not only knowing what you are, but also knowing why you are. And we're talking about the principles and power of vision, right? Our people perish for two main reasons. They perish for lack of knowledge, and we perish for lack of vision. And if you don't even know you need a vision, you are in bad shape, my friends. Jeffrey Rockberry says, yes, sir. Hey, do me a favor, man. If you have not already commented the name of your business and or your brand, make sure that you do that, because I love to give you a free business shout out. And you never know who might want to connect with you based on sharing a little bit about what you do. Just don't post any links, but I love to give you a free business shout out here on the Cortez Hustle Show. So it is 7:19. So we're going to pause on the 12 principles real quick so that we can get to 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. That is where I play a motivational clip from a motivation video and really have you comment one of your takeaways. And I'm going to comment a couple of my takeaways. So today's 1 minute motivation video comes from Success Archive, right? That is a YouTube channel that I follow and I grab these 1 minute motivation videos from. So let's get ready to jump into a little 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. So let's see, is this where we are?
Decide, commit, act, succeed, repeat.
If you want to be an impactful personality, you have to develop certain types of thinking and perceptions that change the way you see yourself and see the world.
No matter what you want to do in life, no matter what your ambition is, that your dreams can come true if you persevere, if you work hard, and if you realize that what you might think is impossible is possible in today's world.
Well, you have to keep yourself focused on whatever your ultimate goal is. There's stumbling blocks all the way. People get laid off, you have a bad game, you get traded from a team that you don't want to be with. But if your goal and your focus remains the same, that, hey, this is going to happen, and I know I have the skills and I have the knowledge and I have the instincts to dig myself out of this hole, you will dig yourself out of the hole. You have to control the situation. Don't let the situation control you.
Your life is what you think it should be. That's exactly what you are right now. You are what you thought you should be. And if you don't like who you are, you got to change what you think you should be. What you think is more important than what you do. And so if you want to change, you got to work on this attitude bit.
When you take
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our clip for the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, 1 minute motivation. So comment one takeaway that you got from that. I'll tell you, the way that thing kicked off, that blessed my spirit right there. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He said, decide, commit, act, succeed, and repeat. I was like, man, that is dope. So many people have trouble with making decisions, right? And because of that second word is why they have trouble making decisions, because they know when they make a decision, a commitment is required to back up that decision. So it becomes a challenge for a lot of people to decide in the first place. But what they don't realize is not deciding is also a decision, right? He also said, change how you see yourself. This is important, guys. And I change how I see myself every day because I keep growing. And every time I grow a little bit, I see that I can stretch and grow a little bit further. And when I stretch and grow a little bit further, I have to see myself differently because I'm like, man, if I was able to do that, then I'm able to do more. So I see myself differently every single day. What was one of your biggest takeaways from the 1 minute motivation video for today, right here on the Cortez Hustle Show? 1 minute motivation is brought to you by MonetizeMyLifeAcademy.com. Marie says the committed part, definitely. Yeah, you got to make the commitments, and that's where the power in decision is. And a lot of people think that successful people always make the right decision. And that's not always the case. But what successful people do more often than not is they decide and then make the decision right. Oh, y'all got to get that. Y'all got to get that. See, successful people don't always make the right decision. But what they will do is they'll make a decision and then make that decision right through their commitment to it. So they win either way, whether they make the right decision or they make not the decision that wasn't the best at the time. They make the decision right. And that's important when it comes to decision. Marie said, I need to change how I see myself. Yes, a lot of times we get so caught up in how other people see us, how other people define us, how other people think about us. The most important thing in your entire world is what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself, what you say to yourself, and how you see yourself. Yeah, they fail their way to the top, always making changes. Yep, always making those micro adjustments to course correct along the way. So we're talking about 12 principles of clarifying your vision from Dr. Myles Munroe book on the principles and power of vision. Number 3, your true work is what you were born to do. Your job is what you are doing just until you are ready to fulfill your vision. Now, let me hit y'all with this, man, because we talk about people struggling to define or to find or unlock or uncover their purpose. Most people know what their purpose is. They're just scared to walk in it. And I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. Most people see the vision and it is made plain. They're scared to bejesus out of themselves when it comes to walking in it and acting on it. Because again, it goes back to the power that we give other people based on what they think about us. Right? We give people way too much power, and we give their opinions and the thoughts of us way too much weight. Right? If we go back to scripture, the Apostle Paul said, we are all gods under the Most High God. And if I am a God, that means I create my world the same way God created the world. And if my world is upside down, it's on me. That's my responsibility. That's my fault. And I'd be doggone if my world is going to be upside down because of what somebody else thinks. If my world is upside down and I'm going to have to live with it, it's because of the choices that I made. Because what I believe about me, because what I think about me, because how I see myself, because of what I say to myself. I'm not saying we don't take other people's opinions into account. I got a beautiful wife in the other room. Hell yeah, I care about what she thinks about the moves that I'm making. But at the end of the day, I perform for an audience of one. I'm going to take what she thinks into consideration. I'm going to run some things by her, but I have to live with the decision that I made. I have to live in the world that I am creating for myself. So it comes down to, at the end of the day, we got to stop caring too much about what other people think. I'm not saying we stop caring altogether, right? We got to stop caring too much, right? And hopefully my camera stops doing all this funny business that it's doing. We got to stop. I'm not saying don't care about what other people think. That's silly. We're social creatures. We are designed to be interdependent, to count on one another, but we can't care too much about what others think, right? Because it'll get us off our path. So number 3 was your true work is what you were born to do. Your job is what you're doing just until you are ready to fulfill your vision. Basically, it's your distraction, y'all. It's your distraction. I'm going to be distracted doing this over here because I really am scared to go after what God has shown me in the vision. So I'm going to go over here and do this and try to build some sort of life, some sort of happiness doing this instead of doing the vision. Number 4, when God gives you a vision, it will bother you until you do it. See, some of y'all are on those jobs, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a job, but that job might be pulling you away from where God wants you to go. And you get up every morning and you got this other thing tugging at you. That's the vision. He says, when God gives you a vision, it will bother you until you do it. So now you got this thing tugging on you while you're on your way to work this morning. And you're hearing me speak and you're like, man, let me turn this dude off. Because that vision is bothering you this morning. Can anybody admit that that vision is bothering them? It bothers you until you do it. Until you do it. Right? Speaking of that, if you guys have not answered the question of the day, let me give you guys the question of the day. The question of the day is, what one area are you looking to grow personally? Right? What one area are you looking to grow personally? Comment QOTD and give me your answer. What one area are you looking to grow personally? And you guys know if you put QOTD and give your answer, then I will enter you into a drawing to win a free vacation. And we do our drawings every Wednesday at noon Central Time. What one area are you looking to grow personally, right? So when God gives you a vision, it will bother you until you do it. Dr. Deborah says that is so true. Your vision will not leave you alone, right? Number 5, one of the most significant questions we must each answer for ourselves is, what is it you want? Right? Maybe we got to switch the question of the day to that. What is it that you want, right? So I want you guys to think about that. And for those of you who are my Christian brothers and sisters, I want you to really let this marinate, man. I've been hearing Steve Harvey say a lot that his life didn't change until he upped his ask. He says the one scripture that changed his life, he said, is you have not because you ask not. And he said he had to up his ask to God so that God could up his give, right? And when you answer this question, what is it that you really want? This ain't the time to be humble. When you serve a God that created everything, and that same God who knows your heart. So when you start saying what it is you really want and you're trying to be humble and say you only want these little things and he know you want this big thing, now you're lying to him. What? Yeah. So you're afraid to dream big and to make your request known to the one being that has the ability to fulfill it all. Now you might say, if I ask you, what do you want? You might look at me and say, well, I only want this, Cortez, because I know that your capacity to fulfill this thing is limited. So I'm not going to ask you for what I really want because I don't believe you have the ability to do it. But when you make your request and your petition known to the one who has the ability to fulfill it, why would you ask for a better job? Right? I think we forget that God is in the impossible business. We spend a lot of time asking for the possible. You asking for a better job that you can go get on your own. You asking for a better car. Well, you can clean your credit up and go get a better car on your own. But you're asking for the impossible, for the God who has the ability to fulfill on those things. Ask yourself and answer this question. What is it you really want? And don't be afraid to be bold with that answer. See, there's abundance everywhere, y'all. We bring the limitations. There's abundance everywhere. but we bring the limitations, and so much so that we'll handcuff God, all-knowing, all-powerful being that can do anything and everything that we ask. But that's another lesson for another day. Number 6, your vision should be something that lives on after you're gone. Right? It should be something that lives on after you're gone. It's so big. So, see, I see Vivian said to be completely healed, right? That's a big ask right there. That's a huge ask to be completely healed, right? Your vision should be something that lives on after you're gone. Some of us are trying to do things that we can complete on our own. And I had a mentor tell me that if you can do it by yourself, you're not dreaming big enough. It should involve other people. It should be something that's going to last, that's going to create impact generation after generation after generation. Is that what you're visioning this morning? Or is your vision limited because of your past? Is your vision limited because what somebody else said that you can have? I'm just wondering. So what I want to do real quick, guys, before we wrap this thing up, I want to share with you guys a quick video on what part of my vision is. Part of my assignment is to help unlock your passion and show you how to turn that passion into revenue streams. Because I believe we all were passionate about something, and then somebody told us, you can't make no money doing that. You should be doing this. And we listened to them. See, they didn't know, like for instance, when your child sit and play video games and they really got into them, and you said, get from in front of that TV and go outside and play. Right? Anybody ever tell their children that? Get out from in front of that TV and go outside and play. I remember telling my sons that, y'all play these games too much, not knowing that the entire world is going digital. And what they were learning in those games, that every university in this country and most around the world now have gaming teams. And if they kept playing those games, they could have gone to college on a gaming scholarship. If they kept playing those games, they would have a better understanding of the technology that's bombarding us today. Right? We didn't understand why they were passionate about those things, why they were drawn to those things. But in our own ignorance, we said that they're not getting enough exercise. No, they were getting mental exercise that was preparing them for a digital world that was going to allow them to be flying drones and doing things remotely using a control pad the same way that the video game control pad is built. Right? So what I do is I help people take their gifts, their talents, their special abilities, and turn those things into profitable businesses. Because if you can get paid from your passion, you will stick with it long enough. And I believe that your passion is designed to guide and lead you to your purpose. And where your purpose is, your provision is also. So let me share with you this quick video, a couple testimonies of some people that I helped. And I have a boot camp coming up in a couple of days. And I want you guys, matter of fact, tomorrow, and I want you guys to be a part of it. So let me add to the stream.
2021 is going to be your year. What are you doing to make it your year? Well, let me
All right, hold on.
You said 2021 is going to be your year. What are you doing to make it your year? Well, let me tell you what you're going to do to make it your year. You're going to finally turn your gifts, talents, special abilities, your knowledge, your intellect, your experiences into digital products that you can market and sell online and build a brand around. Listen, if you don't know who I am, I'm H Cortez, author of Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your gifts, talents, special abilities into profit with little to no startup costs. And I want to help you. I created an extension of this book called the Monetize My Life Digital Product Bootcamp, where I literally show you 9 different ways to turn your intellectual capital, i.e. your knowledge, into intellectual property, books, courses, ebooks, podcasts, the whole 9 yards. But listen, don't just take my word for it. Let me let you hear from a couple of my students and how the program has worked for them. So check this out.
Good afternoon, folks, and I hope you all are having a G2G kind of day. I'm definitely having a G2G kind of day. Ever since I hooked up with Cortez Springer, and he changed my whole business. I mean, I went from being a 0 by 0 in my hierarchy to one of the top 2nd to 3rd tier producers and recruiters in my base shop. So I'm extremely thankful for what he's done for me. He's phenomenal. He, even now, after I'm long gone and I'm pushing this thing on my own, he still reaches out and gives me a little bit of encouragement and everything. So all I got to say is, if you guys are looking to build a business or to get yourself marketed in the business that you have or whatever, definitely give him a shout out, because the brother's he's a bad boy. That's all I got to say. He's generally a good person, and he has a passion for what he does. I always used to tell him all the time that I appreciated his tenacity, because he digs in and he makes sure that you are getting what you're supposed to get, and he's gonna make sure you work too. So that's all I have to say, folks. Just do the right thing. Monetize your life. G2G.
Hey, Coach Cortez, it's me, Ariel. I just wanted to thank you for helping me to create my product this weekend and launch the product with the systems in place. Man, I'm just truly amazed. Like, I got 7 sales in 4 days, and I've been thinking to myself, why didn't I do this thing and launch this thing a long time ago? But nevertheless, it's launched, it's lit, it's hot. So I'm appreciative, I'm thankful, and I'm looking forward to creating more products and more success with you. Thank you so much.
Wow, 7 sales in 4 days. And then she sent me this text message where she got 2 more sales overnight. How would you like to turn your gifts, talents, special abilities, intellect into digital products that will allow you to wake up to new money every day? All you gotta do is click the link around this video to register for the Digital Product Bootcamp, and I hope to see you on the inside.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's part of why I do what I do. I've been called to empower people economically. And the way you empower yourself economically in this country is through entrepreneurship. Now, I know for a lot of you guys, you think that's a bad word. I know our school system has done a really good job causing us to believe that entrepreneurship is risky. But we have this thing called the internet, and you accumulated a bunch of knowledge, experiences, passions, expertise that can transform the lives of other people. And they are so eager for that transformation that they will actually pay you for it. So I want to invite you guys to definitely check out the Digital Product Bootcamp tomorrow, 7 p.m. It's a fun workshop. Not only will you get learn the 9 different ways to turn your passion into profit, but you also get 2 additional courses, one on how to launch your own coaching business, the other one on the personal branding blueprint, so you can build a brand around your passion as well. So just $47, ladies and gentlemen, and you get all of that. So that's part of my mission in life, is to help empower those who I am connected to and help them understand that entrepreneurship is the way to build economic empowerment and create a lasting legacy in this economy. So we're talking about the principles and power of vision. So we were on number 6. Let me just recap the first few real quick. Number 1, you must have a clear and guiding purpose for your life. And I believe once you continue walking in your passions and doing the things that you love to do, you're going to really find that your purpose is right around the corner. Number 2, the key to life is not only knowing what you are, but also why you are, right? Unlocking that purpose. Number 3, your true work is what you were born to do. Your job is what you are doing just until you are ready to fulfill your vision, right? It's your distraction until you really overcome the fear of walking by faith. Number 4, when God gives you a vision, it will bother you until you do it. Number 5, one of the most significant questions we must each answer for ourselves is, what is it you want? Number 6, your vision should be something that lives on after you're gone, right? Some of us have very shallow visions. Number 7, your vision is a clear conception of something that is not yet reality, but which can exist. It is a strong image of a preferable future. What is the future that you prefer to see? What is your preferable future? One of my strengths, guys, is my superpower is my imagination. Like I told you guys earlier, I was the first kid at daycare, so I was usually there before a lot of kids showed up. And then I was the last kid picked up, so I was usually there after a lot of kids were gone. That left me by myself. And I had to use imagination to make those experiences fun. I had a lot of trauma in my life as a young man, abuse and that kind of thing. It was my imagination that kept me safe. It was my imagination that kept me happy and joyful in some of the most dark moments in my life. And that's my superpower. Some of you guys are looking at your preferable future and it's so small, like really, if you put your mind to it, you can go create that like tomorrow. No, that's not the preferable future. Man, imagine big, dream big, shoot for the stars. So if you miss, you land on the moon, right? And remember, your vision is also tied to other people, right? Sometimes we, especially as Christians, we are so humble in our thinking that I don't want $1 billion. Well, I do. Because in order to build $1 billion empire, I'm probably going to have to employ 500,000 people. We don't think about that. Yeah, in order to do some of the amazing things that I want to do, it's going to make room for hundreds of thousands of other people to do the amazing things that they want to do. So don't dream small. Don't imagine small. Number 8, a vision demands change by its very nature. This is where we get stuck at. We get stuck because we don't want to change. That's where we get stuck. We want different, but we want to remain the same. It doesn't work like that. In order to have something different, you have to become something different. Period. End of story. In order to have something different, you must become something different. Period. Number 9, a vision is active when times are good and things are in a positive state. How often do you find yourself in what we call the state of flow, or as an athlete, former basketball player, they call it being in the zone. It's like you just can't miss. It's like you're seeing the game in slow motion. So every move that the opponent is about to make, you beat them there. Every time the defense gets ready to get in your way, you sidestep and get around them and get to the basket. It's the flow. This is how you know that you're in the vision, because you're in that state of flow, right? Number 10, vision doesn't try to recapture the good old days. Rather, it desires to create days that have not yet existed. We all know people like this, man. I'm 46 years old, be 47 years old this year. And I know people, every time I see them, they talking about what we was doing back in the day. I'm like, man, I see so much greater, and I'm going after that, right? Nothing wrong with extracting the lessons from your past, but you can't live there. We all know people like that. They literally are living in their past, and therefore they can't appreciate the present and do the things that will create a brighter future for them. Number 11, when you keep company with God, you have to keep moving. Yeah. You guys really realize that there is no such thing as standing still? You're either growing or you're dying, man. There is no in between. You're either growing or you're dying. There is no in between. How in the world can I stand still on a planet that is constantly spinning and moving around the sun? There's no standing still. You gotta constantly be in a state of progress, moving forward. Because if you're not moving forward, and if you're not moving forward fast enough, you're going backwards. Period. End of story. Number 12, a clear vision gives us a passion that keeps us continually moving forward in life. Is this why some people are stuck? Could this be the prescription for people going from glory to glory and elevating their lives? Is to help them develop a vision, give them permission to see bigger, see greater, encourage that, right? Encouraging that in our children. Could this be the key? I think so. The Bible says we perish because of lack of vision and because of lack of knowledge. And a lot of people don't even know they need a vision. So it's important for us to continue to use our imagination. If we go back to an episode that I did a few weeks back on the Dr. Dennis Kimbrough's wealth choice, he talks about there are different forms of wealth, and imagination is one of them. How do you see yourself? What are you saying to yourself to get you to become that person that you see in the future? Man, I tell you, when y'all meet the Cortez of 2025, y'all really gonna like that dude. Yeah, I converse with him quite frequently. When y'all get a chance to meet him, oh man, y'all really gonna like him. What does the you of 2025 look like? What does the you of 2045 look like? Are you looking out into the future and seeing the greatness that's possible for you? Are you seeing? That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what drives me, because I see where I'm going to be in 5 years, 10 years. But I can only get there if I'm doing the things that are necessary today to get me there. But that vision is pulling me, right? This is why I got to see myself differently every day. This is why I got to grow every single day. And I want to encourage you, my friend, to do the same thing. Quote of the day, or question of the day. What one area are you looking to grow personally? Let's see. What say ye, Facebook? If you haven't answered the question of the day, go ahead and put QOTD and give me your answer. Let me see if I have a couple people who've answered today. Glenda says to help others see the beauty inside and outside of themselves. That's where she wants to grow today. Let's see, who else wants to grow today? Put QOTD in your answer. Vivian says, I'm looking to get out of debt. So she wants to grow in her finances. Let's see, who else? Deborah says, hey, I want to grow in my physical health, right? I want to start taking better care of the body. I love it. I love it. I love it. Who else? I think someone else answered early on in the show. Yeah, DJ Ed said sponsorship, right, is an area that he wants to grow. Let's see. All right. So my answer to the question of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show is where I ask a question and we all give our answers. I used to give my answer towards the end of the show. And this is a big one for me, guys. I'm trying to grow in the area of my belief in myself. See, you guys like to come and listen, and I appreciate you guys. But when I tell y'all that I'm talking to myself, y'all just get to hear me out loud. I'm talking to me, right? I need to take my vision to another level. And the reason I can't take my vision to another level, because as much as I believe in me, there's another level of me believing in myself that's required for me to build a media empire that will one day surpass Walt Disney and Ted Turner. So I'm growing in my belief in how I pat myself on the back for a job well done throughout the day, because that strengthens my belief. I evaluate the results that I'm getting when I take an action, and that action and those results teaches me a lesson, and then I can go and reevaluate and I can take bigger and bolder actions. I have to believe even more in me than I already do in order to fulfill the vision that God has for my life. So as serious as I am with belief and mindset, there's an even greater level of belief in myself. And I think you guys are going to see the manifestation of that in 2021 as I continue to dive in deep and I do the inner work, the internal reflection, and start scraping out and removing the things that limits my beliefs for what I can and cannot do, what I should and should not do, getting other people out of my head and listening to that inner voice. Yeah, your boy got some work to do, and I ain't ashamed to admit it. Got to believe even more in myself as I continue down this path to fulfilling the vision that God has on my life. Marie says her question of the day is she wants to grow in her spiritual life. Shiro says she wants to grow in finishing and overcoming me, right? Sometimes we are our biggest obstacle and getting out of our way. That's one of the things that belief is going to help me do, because the more I believe in me, the more I can get out of my own way and serve my best self to the world, because people need my mission. People need my vision. And if I don't execute, a lot of people could fall by the wayside, and I don't want that blood on my hands. So I'm increasing my belief in myself. My answer to the question of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. It is that time, guys. So until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. So hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.